What's up again, guys? Brian here at 3TR, and I decided to do a little topic video kind of in preparation for Injustice, which comes out next week. Now, for those of you who've been following the little verse series, they've really come down to the final two, which I'm sure many of us could predict was going to be Batman versus Superman, and I want to give my thoughts as for who I really think is better or who I think would win in a fight like this. Now, there's really no simple answer because, you know, this is probably one of the greatest versus debates in terms of which superhero would beat who. And to its core, I think it just depends on the situation. Now, Superman is clearly the better... He's probably better than Batman overall in terms of, you know, super strength, super hearing, super everything. The only advantage that he doesn't have is he can't read minds, as far as I'm concerned. Batman's greatest advantage is that he knows how to plan ahead, and the basic term that you could use between Superman and Batman is that Superman could win any fight. Batman knows how to plan out a battle. And so, in a head-to-head contest like this, it doesn't make a lot of sense for Batman to be able to win, because as far as we've seen, all his attacks are standard basic physical attacks. Even his finisher really wouldn't do anything to Superman, because if I remember correctly, all he does is he throws some little gas thing, and he shocks a person in the neck with some tasers, and then he calls his bat car, and then he jumps over it as the car runs the person over. If that were to be done to Superman, none of that would do anything, really. He might be a little dazed for a little bit, but he'd be able to get up and then go straight at it. So, my guess is that for this particular fight, when we see it, I'm hoping that the developers were smart enough to add some type of exclusive animation that shows Batman pulling out some form of kryptonite somehow. Because as you can clearly see on the wallpaper here, and on the box art, you can clearly see Batman holding what looks to be some piece of kryptonite. So for them to not add that in the gameplay, you know, doesn't make any sense. Because none of his attacks, okay, can hurt Superman, but not enough to really cause enough damage to be able to defeat him. And really, in a whole, Batman is much more of the strategist, because he cannot. There's a lot of fights that he cannot fight on Superman's terms. Best example of this is that Batman would never be able to take on someone like Doomsday with no amount of planning. Because Doomsday really has no weakness, except for sheer physical brute strength, which is the very thing that took to kill him, and that's something that only Superman could provide. However, on Superman's terms, he would probably have a good amount of experience taking on someone like Batman, because he's taken on Lex Luthor, and the difference between Lex Luthor and Batman is that Lex Luthor is more concerned of, because they're both brilliant and they both could easily get a hold of kryptonite easily, is that Lex Luthor is much more obsessed with how do I beat Superman on his terms. Batman is more of how do I use what I know about Superman to get him to fight me on my terms and get him into a position where he thinks he has the advantage, and then I pull something out that he doesn't see coming. As I said at the beginning, if Superman had the ability to read minds, then there's absolutely no way Batman would be able to win. And another example of this is their first encounter. If you've seen the little animated movie Batman and Superman, when Joker gets a hold of some kryptonite, like this giant statue of kryptonite. In their very first encounter, Batman's talking to someone looking for the Joker, and Superman comes up to him and he, you know, grabs him on the shoulder and says, "You know, I think that's enough, buddy." And the first thing that Batman does is he just grabs Superman and throws him through a table, and then Superman's just looking at him like, "Are you serious? Did you really just try to throw me?" And then he instantly knocks Batman to the ground, and it says, "I heard you were crazy. I didn't think you were stupid." So on that note, that's a clear example of what would really happen if Batman tried to take on Superman without planning ahead. So, in retrospective, to give you my final results, I think it's dead even. It just depends on the situation. Head to head, no planning for Batman, Superman would win. If Batman has time to plan ahead to come up with some sort of strategy. Using what he knows about Superman and Clark, then Batman will come out the winner. But in terms of this Injustice fight, I think that Batman is going to win, but for the wrong reasons. I think he's going to win because he's the most popular superhero, but again, if they don't add some type of animation with Kryptonite, then Batman should lose, because that's really what would happen. If he has that little animation, then I think Batman will win just barely. So those are my thoughts on the Injustice Batman vs. Superman battle. Tell me what you guys think. Do you think Batman is going to win for the wrong reasons, or do you think they might add something to Batman to actually make it a defining defeat over Superman? If you like this video, please like, comment down below, and please subscribe to check for my future videos. And like always, thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you next time.